Alright guys, and welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd do another video to follow on from my early access Wonderkid hunt to show a few more Wonderkids and a few players who I think have had a massive attribute increase this year that might have gone under the radar a little bit. So stay tuned, we'll have a bit of a look at the best young talent this game has got to offer. We're going to start big with Endrick, a player that I'm sure anyone who follows world football will know about. He is the next Brazilian Wonderkid and he looks fantastic in the game. Only 15 years old, but already looking like he's, going to develop into something really, really special. He's quick, he's got decent mental game, his dribbling, finishing, first touch and technique are all solid, especially when you consider the fact he's only 15 years old. So keep an eye on this guy, he is going to develop into a real talent of the future. Staying in Brazil, Victor Hugo is a really talented young attacker. He can play in the centre of midfield or as a number 10, but has really well-rounded attributes, and I can only assume he's going to develop quite nicely. Good flair, dribbling, his vision, work rate, passing are all solid, as well as decent physicals. He's also 6 foot tall, so he's no slouch. He's no player who's going to get brushed off the ball that easily. And he's got a shade of a Kaká about him. It'll be really interesting to see how he develops in the game. We travel back to Europe next and to Italy to look at a player in the Verona under-20s side. Italians, defenders, they just go hand in hand, right? And this kid is no different. 18 years old, he's 6'4", great physicals, great mental side to the game, really solid technicals. He's going to be able to step into a top-level side pretty soon, and I'd only assume become one of the better defenders in the game. With both him and Scalvini from the previous video, the future of central defence for Italy is looking really solid for a long, long time. Next up, another player from the French production line of world-class potential midfielders, Lucas Gurna-Duath. Really good young player. He's just been picked up by Salzburg, so he's going to be pretty expensive at the start of the game. Give it a year or two, and maybe be able to pick him up for something that's not too extortionate. But at 18 years old, he already looks exceptional. He's got everything physically, everything mentally, and technically, he's really, really well-rounded. If he can really step on and get some of these attributes to the elite level, he is going to be one to watch and a player that you just have to sign. Now, if you're a fan of your Rare Nations players, Fenerbahce have got a couple of absolute gems hidden in their under-19 side. Isak Vural is a number 10 who can play as a central midfielder or even drop as far as number 6, but most comfortable in a number 10 spot. He's got a ton of flair, determination, technique, his vision, his teamwork and his passing is really good. He does lack a little bit physically and he is obviously very raw at 16 years old mentally, but he could be an exceptional flair number 10 player. If you want to bring back your classic number 10 where it's all flair, all creativity and not a lot of tracking back, this kid could be perfect for you. And very much in the same vein, but obviously quite a bit more developed, is Arda Güler. Again, really creative, great technique, his first touch is fantastic, he's crossing, but lacking that physical and a little bit of the mental side of his game. Could be an elite number 10 if you've got the team around him to allow him to just kind of flex his creative muscle and be that pure flair player in the number 10 spot. Staying in the 10 spot, or up front, or out on the wing, we've got Philip Bungard. Really, really well-rounded, high determination, good aggression, 17 years old. He's already starting to look like a player who could really push for a starting spot at a lot of higher level sides. So I'm talking, mid-table Premier League, those mid-table sides in the top 5 divisions. He could definitely command a position on your bench, if not be a regular rotation option, and his development will only grow from there. Looks really, really good and a player that I'm definitely going to try and get my hands on. So who's your favourite there? Who are you going to try and pick up? And are there any other players that you think I've missed? Who have you found in your saves so far? Leave a comment down below and a screenshot to a Gallardo. Why not? Now for the final part of this video, I thought we'd have a look at a few players who I thought really deserved a big glow up this year. So let's have a look at a few of those players who are over the age of 20, who have had their attributes fluffed up. First up, a player who has burst onto the scene. Moises Caicedo is fantastic. IRL and now in-game. He's got pretty much everything. Physicality, he's got a great mental side to his game, his passing and his tackling's really good as well. And at only 20 years old, you can only expect him to get better. Enzo Fernandez last year was very underwhelming, considering how highly regarded he was in Argentinian football. Since his move to Benfica, he has had the glow-up of the century. He looks like the complete central/defensive midfielder. He's 5'10", he runs all day, he's great on the ball, good in the tackle, he's aggressive, got a good personality, 21 years old, obviously new signing at Benfica. They are going to demand a lot of money, but second, third season maybe, he could be a linchpin in your midfield. And another player who was screaming out for an upgrade, Charles de Ketelaere. God, I hope I'm saying that right. Last year was very underwhelming, but since his move to Milan from Club Bruges, all of his attributes have had a massive hike. Can play up front as a 10 or even in midfield. Perfectionist personality, great determination, but just a very, very well-rounded player. And at 6'4", he's an absolute menace. And a player I was excited to find, and I'm sure a player you were excited to have a look at as well. He was great last year, he looks even better this year. Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. No, I know I've butchered that. Looks absolutely exceptional, 21-year-old, the Georgian Messi. He's dribbly, he's flary, he's got great technique. Not a lot of work rate, but physically really, really sound as well. I can see a lot of people picking him up this year. Back to the Prem with Emile Smith-Rowe. Now, I know he was very good last year, but he looks like he's been improved even more. And on merit, he had a really good season with Arsenal last year, and looks like another player who's coming off that English production line of really talented attacking players. He's a little bit quicker, his mentals are a little bit better. Dribbling, passing, techniques, all brilliant. Model citizen as well. It's going to cost an absolute bomb to get him out of Arsenal. But if you're starting at Arsenal, you could have a real good time with him. And finally, another English lad, centre-back Mark Gahey, had a fantastic season with Crystal Palace last year and is reflected in his attribute increase. Not world-class yet, but I think the makings are there for him to be a very, very solid top-level centre-back. Great tackling, really well-rounded physicals, fantastic mentals, anticipation, bravery, composure, concentration, determination are all really, really high, and I hold those in very high value for defensive players. Only thing is, he's not the best in the air, so maybe you could work on that. But again, fantastic young player. It's going to cost a lot to get out of Palace, but maybe it's worth it if you want that homegrown English squad. So there we have it, guys. A ton more Wonderkids and a ton more improved young players. Who's your favourite you've seen? Who have you found? Let me know down below. Don't forget, guys, if you've enjoyed the video, please do leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want more FM23 content. I am also going to be doing tons of live content over on twitch.tv/VikingDan, so come and join me over there. Say you came from YouTube. It'd be really good to see you drop in. It's also worth mentioning that tomorrow, the 21st of October, from 12 midday UK time, we will be doing the Manager-thon. That is an uncapped subathon over on Twitch. There are stipulations for gifted subs, but also there are going to be game giveaways and a ton of just fun on Football Manager. So come and join us over there, twitch.tv/VikingDan from 12 on the 21st. But cheers for dropping in, guys. I will see you next time with more FM23 content. That's it from me for now, and I'll see you next time.